Hey guys, welcome back to my series on my first trip to Walt Disney World. Today we're going to be talking about Magic Kingdom, which was the last park on the list, the last one that we went to at Walt Disney World. I'll have another video on Universal Studios, which is 2 parks, but I'll just do it in one video, I think. And yeah, so this though is about the Magic Kingdom, and the Magic Kingdom was my favorite. Of course. So, if you watched my last episode on the Animal Kingdom, you'll know that I went to the Magic Kingdom the same day that I went to Animal Kingdom. But I had to stop off at the hotel first and wait for Kevin to get finished with his conference stuff. So, one of the things about his conference is that Kevin got to request tickets for, he had a choice between the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot, which we kind of went to anyway, or the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Magic Kingdom. So he chose those because he let me decide, actually, and I said, I'd much rather go trick-or-treating, although we didn't actually trick-or-treat, in the Magic Kingdom, because how much fun is that going to be? People were dressed in costumes, so there were like lots of Disney princesses and Disney characters and other characters. It was really cool. So I wanted to go to that, and he said, sure, let's go. It was like the same amount of money, so it didn't really matter. It was up to me. And so what we did, because I read up on the Halloween party thing and found out that actually it starts at 7, but you can go in at 4 o'clock. So we tried to get there at 4 o'clock, or as close to 4 o'clock as we could, so that we could ride some of the rides that weren't going to be open during the actual Halloween party. So we got there and went in and everything. We had our little wristband, because if you didn't have a wristband at 7 o'clock, they kicked you out of the park. So we had our wristbands saying that we were supposed to be there for the party. And as soon as we got in, I got Kevin to take a picture of me because I was really excited to be there, because I was at the Magic Kingdom. I'd never been before, and there was Cinderella's castle in the background. It was so cool. You're walking down Main Street. I mean, I had to get a picture. So Kevin took my picture. And we got there just as they were doing one of their like stage shows right in front of Cinderella's castle. And it's called Dream Along with Mickey. And they dance and sing and everything. And so we saw some of that. So then we headed over to Adventureland. And we climbed up into the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. I mean, it wasn't anything too cool. It was just like a replica or a reproduction of the set from the movie. And I've always liked that movie. I liked it when I was growing up, so I wanted to kind of go up there and see it. And they had like the dishes and all kinds of stuff. So then we went to the Enchanted Tiki Room, which has like a bunch of birds and stuff singing songs. And I only know about it because there's a song called In the Tiki Room. So it was one of the first rides, I think, at the park. One of the first ones created, so I wanted to go see it. It's not anything special. I mean, it's just you sit there and the animatronic birds sing and stuff, and I mean, it was okay. And they kind of do jokes and stuff, and there was a kid in there that got so scared and started crying, and I don't even know why. But they did, and they were sitting in the front row, because Kevin and I were sitting in the front row, and they were sitting kind of close to us, and their parents were sitting in the row behind us, and something happened and freaked the kid out, and the kid started crying and just ran around. It was so funny. But anyway, I don't know why the kid got scared. I think there was thunder or something. I don't know. There was like a rainstorm. It's kid. I don't understand kids. So yeah, so we went to that, and then next we went to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, because of course you have to go to the Pirates of the Caribbean. And it was a sort of long line, but not too bad. And since I'd never seen it before, I guess if I hadn't seen it before, seeing Johnny Depp, seeing Captain Jack Sparrow in it probably would have made me mad, because I know I'm pretty sure he was not in the original, but yeah, it doesn't bother me, so I don't really care. But it was okay. It wasn't anything. I mean, you can tell it's kind of an older attraction, so it's not really exciting or anything. Which most of the rides there aren't really exciting because you don't have like a lot of roller coasters. I mean, you do have some roller coasters, but they're not like the big roller coasters. They're not like really loopy kind of crazy stuff roller coasters. But the ones that they have are fun, and I enjoyed them. So after we got out of Pirates of the Caribbean, I was really hungry, so we stopped at Pecos Bill's Cafe or something like along those lines. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I had a taco salad, and they have a taco salad bar, which I thought was amazing because I love taco salad and I love like going to a place where I get to put my own toppings on everything. It was so cool. So basically, they give you the shell and they give you the meat. Like that, you get that, and then you go to the bar and you can put your lettuce, you can put your tomatoes, your sour cream, your salsa, your cheese. You can put like queso on it if you want. You can put jalapenos if you want. You can put all kinds of stuff on in your taco salad. So I was like stoked when I saw this taco salad bar. Which sounds terrible, but I was so excited about it. And so yeah, I had taco salad and it was amazing. And Kevin had barbecue, I think, and he said it was pretty good. So I would recommend that just for the taco salad bar. So yeah, we went after that to Big Thunder Mountain, I think is what it's called. It may have a longer name than that. I'm not really sure. But we went to that and we looked at the time and it said it was like 20 minutes or something. And we were afraid there was something else that I think I wanted to go to, and I was afraid I wouldn't get to go to it if we stood in line for that one. So we were kind of debating it, and as we were sitting there debating it, one of the cast members, because that's what they call their the people who work there, they call them cast members. So one of the cast members who was working there, she was about to get off work. Someone was about to come and relieve her, and she asked us if we were going to get on the ride, I think, and we weren't sure. So she said, I have these 2 fast passes if you'd like to have them, but you have to use them tonight, and you have to use them before 7 o'clock. Basically, the fast pass is you get to get into the fast pass line, which is a lot shorter than the regular line. So we got to get into the fast pass line. That was the only fast pass we had the whole time. And it was for the Big Thunder Mountain. And so we got to go pretty much to the front of the line and get on there, and we didn't have to wait 20 minutes. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought that was really amazing. And I mean, how awesome is that? We're just sitting there debating whether we want to actually stand in line or not. And then she just says, hey, I'm going off work in a few minutes. I've got these fast passes. They have to be used within the next hour. Do you want them? Of course we're gonna want them. So yeah, that was really, really cool. And I think that kind of also helped boost Kevin's love of Disney World. So we went on that one and it was fun. And then we went to It's a Small World because you have to go see It's a Small World. I'd never been. Kevin had never been. He didn't even know what it was. So I was like, okay, we have to go on It's a Small World. So we get on it and ride through and everything. And that's also a really old one, but nothing wrong with going on the old rides. It was pretty fun, and it was nice to just kind of not have to stand in a line or anything and just go through a cute little cutesy ride, I guess. Yeah. So after that we went to Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, where you get to you're like in clamshells. That's the ride is you're on clamshells and you go through. It's a ride. Nothing too fancy. But I enjoyed it. I don't know if Kevin has even ever seen Little Mermaid, to be honest. So it could have been all new to him. I don't even know. So after that we went and got on the Barnstormer, which is like Goofy. Aviator Goofy. I don't really know. It's supposed to be like a little plane, or like planes, and there was nobody in the line. And once we went around once, and it's like supposed to be for little kids, so we're like cramped in there, especially Kevin, because Kevin's like really tall and he has really long legs, so he's like really cramped into this little kiddie ride kind of thing. And I'm next to him and I'm having problems with getting my legs in there. I know he's got to be having problems. But so we get in there and there's one spot where you can like, Kevin probably could have raised his hands up and touched what was like overhead. But we got through the ride and they were like, well, there's nobody left. There's nobody waiting to ride the ride. Do you want to go again? So we got to go again, like immediately. So that was pretty fun. I was on the way to the bathroom and I saw Donald and Goofy and they were dressed up in their costumes because the characters dressed in costumes. So like Mickey was dressed in a costume. I mean, he was Mickey, of course, but he was dressed in a costume. And then, you know, they each had their own little things. I can't remember what they were, though. I may have a picture of them somewhere. But, yeah, I saw them on the way to the bathroom. And I ended up seeing Minnie and Daisy, too, at one point, just walking around the park. So that was pretty cool. So there was a Snow White, a girl, you know, dressed as Snow White and everything, the character. And she was so cute. There was a little girl she was talking to and getting her, you know, the little girl was getting her picture made and everything. And she had like the voice and she had the mannerisms like perfect. It made me so jealous because she was like, I mean, had the high-pitched voice and like she was doing something with her hands and it looked exactly like the character from the movie. It was ridiculous, but I loved it. And I was pointing it out to Kevin. I was like, that is amazing. That is so cool that they do that they actually have the mannerisms of the character. So, you know, it keeps the kids, if they're in character, it's going to make the kids more likely to think that they're actually seeing Snow White and stuff. So that was really neat. So next we went to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is the newest attraction they have there. It's the newest ride. And it was the one that had a long line, but actually it wasn't too bad. We thought it was going to be like an hour, but it didn't turn out to be an hour. It wasn't so bad at all. So yeah, we rode that one. It was okay. It wasn't anything that great. I mean, I liked the older, I liked the Big Mountain ride or whatever it was better. And some of the other attractions I liked more, but you know, it's new, so we had to ride it. Then we went on the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh ride. And what you may not know about Kevin is that Kevin actually likes Winnie the Pooh. So he enjoyed that one, and it's like you're kind of riding through the storybook, like you can see the pages and everything. It was really cute. So we rode that. We rode Peter Pan's Flight, which was pretty cool because at one point you're like flying over London, so that was pretty neat. And then you fly over the like the Mermaid Lagoon and all the different places in Neverland. So I liked that one. That was pretty good. So then we went to the Haunted Mansion because it was like the day before Halloween. You have to go to the Haunted Mansion at some point, you know. And we had gone by there and the line was really long. But I told Kevin, because I knew that there were going to be 2 parades that night. And I said, I've heard that if you skip the first parade and go to the second one instead, you can get on some of the rides with the longer lines because people are watching the parade. They're not paying attention. They're not trying to get on the rides. They're trying to, you know, watch the parade so that they can take their kids home or whatever, or do other stuff later. So, yeah, we went to the Haunted Mansion while the parade was going on so that we would more easily get through the line, like, so that we get through the line quicker and get onto the ride. So when you're in the line, you're gonna see Madame Carlotta, and she's dressed up and everything. She's a ghost, one of the 999 ghosts at the Haunted Mansion, and she sits out in the front yard and she just kind of talks to the different people as they're passing by. And so while we were standing there, she saw Kevin, and we weren't dressed in costume. And so she sees Kevin and she goes, "Oh, I know who you are, who you're dressed as. Superman." like Clark Kent, because he had his glasses on and he just had like business attire and everything. So yeah, it was really funny, and it was kind of like she was flirting with Kevin, which was, it was hilarious. It made me laugh because I was like, Kevin, she's talking about you. I don't think he even realized, but anyway, it was really fun. And then we got in there, and we finally got onto the ride, and there was this teenage girl that was like in our group, or like she was like right behind us, and she was so scared. And it was like, it's just the Haunted Mansion ride, it's not gonna be that scary, it's not a big deal. But she was so scared, she started crying, and Kevin and I were just like, what is her deal? But you get up there and you're waiting to get onto your car thing, and they're coming up and there's nobody in them. So you see people getting on these cars, but they let the people out like on the other side. So when it comes back around, you don't see anybody. And it's like, did these people get, are these people ghosts now? But not really. But I thought that was kind of cool. So we get in there, and there were so many stops. It stopped so many times. I don't know if it was like somebody was handicapped and trying to get on the ride, so it was taking a while or what, or if it was just the ride kept breaking down. But it took me out of it so much, and there were like, we got stuck in the seance room. I don't know how many times I heard that woman go through the seance thing, but it was ridiculous, and it was so annoying. So it wasn't that great, but and we got stuck in the graveyard at one point too, which was creepy, but it was still fun, and I still enjoyed it. So yeah. So after we got off the Haunted Mansion, we headed to the castle, because they do something called Celebrate the Magic, and it's kind of like a light show kind of picture show kind of thing on the castle itself, and it was really cool. And I had some cotton candy while we watched it. And then they had a fireworks show called Halloween Wishes, and it had a bunch of different like scary like villain music and stuff. And yeah, it was kind of like the villains thing, but it was really, really good. I mean, Kevin says that it's probably the best fireworks show that he's ever seen, and I think I would probably have to agree, because it was amazing. It was so good. So yeah. So after the fireworks, we went to Tomorrowland, and we rode Space Mountain, and it was awesome. Space Mountain is probably my favorite ride there, because it's pitch black. I mean, you can see like little dots. I guess they're supposed to represent stars. I don't really know. But I mean, the ride is like you're just in this pitch black area. You can't see anything. You don't know if you're about to hit a hill or not. And I screamed so many times, and Kevin was like, "Was that you?" Because every time I would hit a hill, I would just be like, "Ah!" Oh my god, it was so much fun. That was the best. I wanted to ride it again, but we just didn't have time. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So after that, we did Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin. So I was kind of afraid that I would get dizzy on it or something, but I didn't. And basically, and you're like, you have your little gun or whatever, and you're supposed to be trying to shoot certain characters or certain things, and Kevin totally beat me. It was awful. I was really bad at it. But that's okay. So after that, it was time for the Halloween parade, and the parade was pretty awesome. They started off with the Headless Horseman. So it's this guy in a Headless Horseman costume, so he can't see, and he's holding a flaming pumpkin in his hand, and he's headless, and he's riding a horse, and he just races down the parade path, basically. And it was so cool, and of course I wanted to get a picture of it, and I pull out my camera, and the camera said the battery was having problems, so I didn't get a picture. And I think Kevin tried to get a picture, but I don't know if he actually did or not either. So I was so excited about it, and then that happened. It's like, you stupid camera, what is wrong with you? Why did you have to do this? So after he runs through, you have to wait so long, depending on where you are on the parade route, for that parade to actually get to you. And of course, we were at the very end of the parade route, and I didn't realize it. But yeah. So the parade comes through, and there were like dancing people, and there are like cool stuff and floats and everything. It was pretty neat. And then we didn't really have a lot of time because they were closing at like midnight, and it was getting kind of close to midnight. So we just went back to Tomorrowland and rode the Transit Authority People Mover, and it's not like a fast kind of thing. It just slowly takes you through Tomorrowland, and it's like a kind of monorail kind of system. I said kind of a lot right there. But the funny part is, like, not too far ahead of us was a cart that was full of 4 ghosts. There were just 4 ghosts, and they were like all made up, and they would just stare at you. And it was the creepiest thing, but it was so awesome. So yeah, that was pretty fun. So after that, we left and we took our bus back to our hotel. We were so tired because we stayed there till like midnight, and Kevin had to get up the next morning and do stuff, and I had to get up the next morning and go to Universal Studios. So yeah, the next day was Universal Day, and it was also Halloween, and I'll tell you guys about it in the next episode. But first, before I go, I do want to say that while Kevin was, he's never been a Disney fan, he doesn't really like Disney movies, he loves Disney World. I mean, he was very, very impressed. So Disney World gets Kevin's recommendation right there. It gets his vote of approval. The people were nice, the park was clean, and the rides were fun, and yeah, we had a great time. So definitely, if you ever get a chance to go, especially to that, because the Halloween thing was really fun, and they had like different stations around where you had like your trick-or-treat bag, so you could go get candy and stuff. We didn't get any, but we could have. But yeah, so it was really fun. They had dance parties, which we didn't go to any, but they did have them, and we saw a couple of them. So yeah, and it's just all decorated. It's really nice. So I mean, if you ever get a chance, you should totally go. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So I guess that's it. I'll stop talking about it now, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Till then, bye.